Hello, good morning. Little technical difficulties this morning, so the internet was not playing along. So hopefully it will stay working while we are baking today. Hello, happy Saturday. I'm Lisa. Happy Valentine's Day weekend. So exciting. I am here in the Camp Kailua Bakeshop today, and we are going to make Valentine shortbread cookies. Now this recipe I grabbed originally off of the Land O'Lakes site, but I kind of tweaked it and adjusted it a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed, right? But it should be fabulous, I hope. If you are joining me today, drop a hello or a hi. Let me know that you're here. I don't always see the names that scroll that let me know people are watching. If you're watching the replay, you can totally let me know that too. Very cool. Glad you're here. Hopefully you're baking along with me. If you're not catching the replay, baking later, whatever, that's fun too. I'm just glad you're here. Let's bake. All right. The ingredients that you'll need. Oh, I just remembered I forgot something. Let me go grab it. Be right back. Okay, so here's what we're going to use today for this bake. We're going to use a cup of butter, which is basically 2 sticks. Not basically, I mean it is. It's 2 sticks. So we're going to use 2 sticks of butter. We're going to use 2/3 cup of sugar. We're going to use half a teaspoon-ish of vanilla. If you're watching me before, you know how I feel about vanilla, so I might do a skosh more. We're going to use 2 cups of flour. To that, I'm going to add a little bit of salt because my butter is not salted. So I want to add just a little bit of salt. It'll kind of wake everything up, bring out the good flavors. What else do we have? Oh, I couldn't get good sprinkles in time, so I'm just going to use this sanding sugar. So we'll use that. And then I thought at the last minute, why not add just a little bit of red gel color to the dough, so it'll make it sort of swirly twirly and it'll look like very Valentine-y, right? So I got that, and then also hugs. Can't go wrong with a cookie that also has hugs, right? So we'll talk about how we're going to use those after I put everything in the oven. All right, let me, and I need to grab my whisk. I'm like so disorganized. That whole internet snafu earlier has like completely thrown me off. Let me grab a whisk. You always use a whisk to kind of fluff up the flour. All right, so we're good to go. I have already in my mixer, let me tip you so you can see the mixer. So I have already in my mixer bowl the 2/3 cups of sugar. So to that, I'm going to use my cup of butter. I will tell you that the butter is softened. So I've had it sitting out for a bit. Now, if you haven't, don't panic, totally okay. You can pop it in the microwave for just a little bit, not very long. Another technique that I like to use is I fill a bowl up with water and I pop that in the microwave, and then I pour the water out and I hold it over, not hold it, but I place it upside down over the butter and let it soften that way. So, but mine is soft, so I'm okay. I'm going to take my butter and unwrap it and just drop my 2 sticks in. Alrighty. Good stuff. Put this over here so I can recycle that. I hope everything is going well for you. I know a lot of my friends are experiencing a super duper cold snap right now. Yee. So stay cozy, stay warm, stay home, right? You don't want to be out in that mess. I don't think. All right, so to my 2/3 cup sugar, 1 cup butter. I'm going to add some vanilla. Now, the recipe calls for about 1/2 teaspoon. I'm just gonna do a healthy splash. That looks good. Okay, tuck that away. Put this down. I'm gonna put my little shield up just in case it decides to fly around. Lock it up. We just want to let this go. I've got it on stir. I'm going to let it go and get a little bit fluffy, then I'll move it a little bit further. All right, so I have it on 2, so we're going to let that go. I'm going to take my flour, and like I said, since I always use unsalted butter, so I'm going to add just not a lot of salt to my flour, but a little bit. You know what, I'm going to put it in here so I can kind of see. So just about like that much. Nice healthy pinch. And then I'm just going to whisk the flour and the salt. I must call it sugar. Don't use sugar. We already put sugar in here. So just a little mixing, little fluff with the whisk to get everybody happy here. Okay, I think that's good. And this also looks good. So what you want it to do is look like a nice fluffy, creamy, buttery. I'm going to just tip it up and scrape the bowl, and then we will let it go just a little bit longer. Try to get it just a tiny bit fluffier. I'm excited about these cookies. They sounded so good. I mean, you can't go wrong really with shortbread, right? Valentine them up. Be great. Alrighty. A little bit on my fingers. It happens sometimes. Alright. Get everybody good to go, locked up. So that's about medium, and so we're gonna just let that roll for a tiny bit. We're gonna watch it. I also want to tell you that I'm going to be using my scoop to scoop the dough. I had a smaller one, but I feel like that one's too small. This one's probably too big. I don't have anything in between, so we're gonna use this one. And we're just gonna have good size yummies. All right, let's see where we are here. Oh yeah, do you see how like the color has changed a little bit? That's how we want. We want the color to be light, fluffy, looking good. All right, I'm just gonna give it a little more zhuzh and then it should be fine. Perfect. Huh, I forgot to loosen the arm. All right. So here we go. Everything, it's very light. It's a nice kind of beige, yellowy color. It's pretty. It looks fluffy. I think we're in good shape. Scrape down the sides here. And then the next thing we want to do is add the flour. I'm just going to use this spoon and scrape off all of this goodness. Try to get every last yummy bit into the bowl. Okay, so I've got my flour, and remember I added, it is 2 cups of flour, and I added a nice healthy pinch of salt, and I just am kind of fluffing it about, not too much, just a little bit with the whisk. That's probably good, and then you can just dump it on into your butter. I'm going to do it in 2 doses. Good. So you'll notice that it sort of starts to get a little bit crumblier, and that's just how we want it. You know how, think about how a shortbread cookie is, right? They kind of melt in your mouth, they're a little bit crumbly, so this is exactly how we want it to look. Perfect. I'm gonna just add the rest of the flour then. I really need like a tool to scrape that, don't I? I don't know if that's a thing. All right, so I've got it on stir, which is basically low, and I'm just gonna kind of let that get a little bit happy together. It's working, it's good. I think we're good. So this recipe, you can see, really kind of comes together quickly. The next thing that I want to do, I've got, like I said, this red gel. I'm just going to add a tiny bit to the dough. I don't want to add too much, but I do want just a bit. So I'm going to use this toothpick to just sort of drizzle a little bit into the dough. Go a little bit more. The thing with this gel is it doesn't take very much. Just going to kind of rub that toothpick on the dough a little. There we go. Close this up because it is a mess if it gets everywhere. It's red. All right, let me just let this spin. And I'm gonna just do that. Like I said, I don't want the red to be like fully in the dough. I want it to be sort of marbled, which is where we are. So can you see how it looks kind of marbly? It's so pretty. All right. Get everybody everybody off of here. Great. So this is kind of what it looks like now. Can you see how it's a little bit crumbly, but yet it kind of binds together? And it does have little bits of the red sort of swirled in there. Totally perfect. I'm gonna tip you down just a little bit. The next step that I'm going to do is use this bowl, and I'm going to, I've got my cookie sheets, and so I'm just going to take the, looks like I got a little flour in that bowl when I was mixing. Take a scoop, and I'm gonna put it into the bowl, but I'm also going to first add these red sprinkles. Sanding sugar, I guess, not sprinkles. If you don't have sprinkles or sanding sugar, it's totally okay. They'll still be delicious. And if you don't have the food coloring, still okay. Totally be delicious. I mean, it's cookies and hugs. Hugs and cookies. All right, so I'm gonna take my scoop here, and I'm just gonna grab a hunk. I'm gonna kind of just toss it in the sprinkles a little. And I probably won't make all of them with the sprinkles. Let's see. See how it goes. I'm trying also not to fill this scooper all the way up just because it is huge. These look pretty. All right, so I'm just rolling them in the sanding sugar, getting them, you know, a little bit. Like I said, it's totally up to you, however much or little you want. And you don't have to grease the cookie sheet. There's a lot of butter in these, so it should be fine. And also I tend to use no stick cookie sheets anyway, so that helps. All right, looks like one more on this tray. And I'll tell you that the amount that this recipe makes totally depends on the size of your scoop. So if you're using a smaller scoop, you'll get more. If you're using a bigger scoop, well, not so much. All right, there's that tray. Slide that over. And I think this tray I'm going to just use plain. I'm not going to roll them. So you can see what the difference is. I am going to sort of shape them a little bit. But still, look how pretty those are. Okay. Almost done. I just think they look so pretty, don't you, with the red swirly whirlies in there? Fun. gonna get about a dozen cookies. Maybe a tiny bit more. All right. Scrape this off so I get as much of the dough in there as I can. Looks like it might be exactly 12. How about that? I just had a brilliant idea. Hold on. We're gonna see if this works. All right, let me move this off to the side. Pull this over here. We're gonna see if this works. I'm gonna try to shape them a little bit into heart shape. I don't know if they'll stay that way when I bake them, but super cute right now. Then I'll know for next time, right? How cute is this? Ah, I love it. Maybe they'll stay. I'm sure if I had a cookie cutter, that would be an easier way to do this, right? All right, we're gonna call that good enough. Let me just pop these in my oven, which is already preheated for 350. And I did use my convection settings, so let me just pop these in. Sorry, I had to give my hands a little rinse. So, Alexa, set a timer for 14 minutes.
14 minutes, starting now.
Perfect. So that's that, guys. That is Valentine shortbread cookies. Now, the next step that I need to do, hold on. When these come out of the oven, I'm going to pop an unwrapped Hershey kit. No, these are Hugs, Hershey Hugs on the top. And what you're gonna do is, when they come out, let them cool for a minute, and then just kind of gently place this on top of each one, and then you just want to kind of press it down just a little bit, you know, partially into the warm cookie. Not too much, because it will go all the way through. And you don't want to press too hard, because you could crack the shortbread. But yeah, I only need 12 because I made 12 cookies. So I guess the rest will be snacks and Valentine surprises. All right, so guys, that's it. So let me recap the recipe for you. It is 2 sticks of butter softened, 2/3 cup of sugar, good healthy splash of vanilla. When I say 2 sticks of butter, I always use unsalted. Let me go back to that. And then I used 2 cups of flour. I mixed that real well with my stand mixer. Then I added, I had 2 cups of flour, and to that I added a nice healthy pinch of salt that I whisked together. Then I added that in 2 batches to the dough. Then I added just a little bit of red gel just to give it kind of a marbled effect, really pretty. And then half of the cookies I rolled in red sanding sugar, and the other half I just left plain, but I kind of shaped them into little heart shapes. So maybe they'll stay heart shapes, maybe they won't, I don't know. But that's that. 6, 7. Easy, fast recipe, and they are delicious. So if you make these, tag me, drop a picture, let me know. If you make them a little bit differently, maybe you use a Hershey Kiss instead of a hug, whatever. They'll be delicious either way. So let me know if you make these, tag me, post a picture, send me a picture, whatever. I love when I see that you've made these recipes. It's so fun. So anyway, that is that. Have a great rest of your weekend. Happy Valentine's Day. And that's that. We'll see you next week. Thanks.